I'm William Pounds, and I'm running for Arizona governor as the independent Green candidate. I would like to speak on the pandemic, the Arizona Republican criminalization of abortion procedures for genetically defective fetuses, and the Arizona Democrat agenda of raining down mandates to take a drug that only provides limited artificial immunity to COVID. It does not prevent the spread. This was part of the reason that the federal government went back on their mask exemption bribe for the jab. Our current Republican governor and legislative majority received my commendation on jab mandate bans. As mRNA shot technology inventor Dr. Robert Wallace Malone has said that the COVID shots should be primarily reserved for artificially immunizing the more vulnerable, balanced with natural immunity of the less vulnerable, and that we should be sending our excess doses to less developed nations, not continue the reckless and gluttonous policy of increasing boosters. But there is no profit in this method of reaching herd immunity. If herd immunity can even be reached with the abnormally leaky shots currently available. This is because, according to my view, quality medication is made with time, patience, and study, not warp speed rushing of the medication production process. Though since Big Pharma is exempt from liability for all vaccine products, the rushing of sensitive scientific processes is of no concern for big pharma drug producers. There is no case to be made within any sense of logic that the rush drug be mandated. They don't prevent spread. You can be infected and hospitalized by a jabbed individual just as easy, if not more easy, as the federal government emboldened mask removal for those who partook in the shot, leading to jabbed individuals being super spreaders. Not that I support forcefully muzzling my constituents, drug participant or not. Warp speed. Wow, what a name for a pandemic response. The Trump Republican pandemic response. An area of Arizonan Republican policy which harrowingly contrasts with the medical liberty policies of shot mandate bans is the totalitarian Arizona GOP policy of banning abortions of genetically defective fetuses thus far. I can tell you personally, in having a profession in the caregiving industry, that the state and federal government don't give a rat's ass about the genetically defective. Care facilities throughout our state remain understaffed, with staff often undertrained. State services don't adequately meet the needs of developmentally disabled clients, and funding is dismal for the most vulnerable Arizonans in our state, while Democrats and Republicans use their offices to boost profits for their donors. I find this reality dark and disturbing, whereas I don't politically object to a woman who doesn't wish to give birth to a genetically defective fetus. Quality of life for so many genetically defective can very often be, bluntly put, minuscule or non-existent, especially for those with parents who don't want them. How exactly is it fair to suffer these genetically defective fetuses to lives maintained by a state care system that doesn't care? The only people that will care about these abandoned, developmentally disabled folks are the experienced, dedicated caregivers who are overworked and underpaid. Understand, the Arizona Republican legislature and governor do not find genetically defective fetuses ever so sacred. The outlawing of genetically defective abortions is a move to manipulate emotions, masking an anti-medical liberty position with false virtue. If Arizona Republicans cared for the developmentally disabled, they would better fund their care and better fund those that provide said care. If elected governor and if I qualify the Arizona Independent Green Party for state recognition, I will pursue an overturning of SB 1457, as well as maintain the current governor's bans on shot mandates. And Arizonans will have a governor and a party that respects medical privacy and liberty, regardless of narratives meant to divide and apathize the public to rob us of our sense of care for the situations that truly matter to people, such as the conditions of state neglect I described, which developmentally disabled Arizonans suffer due to paid-for politicians prioritizing their corporate donors' profits. Consider signing my eQual online ballot access petition, volunteering, and donating to my campaign.